In this video, property and digital nomads. How does one connect with the other? There are currently 35 million digital nomads around the world and rising. The figures are actually increased by 500% just in the last 3 or 4 years. 51% are from the USA, but 8%, the next highest, from the UK, and actually rising exponentially. I wonder why that is. 46% are self-employed, 35% are employed. 47% are between 30 and 39. So these are not students taking a year out or young people on a 1-year adventure. It's people traveling around and working in the middle of their working lives. Suitable for any profession that's suitable to work from home. Software developers, web developers, marketing, accountants, influencers, and many, many more. But how does this relate to property in the UK? Well, strictly falls into 2 categories. Firstly, homeowners. If you are going to become a digital nomad for 1, 2, or 3 years, or even more, what do you do about your property? You have to consider this very carefully because ASTs or assured short hold tenancies, are too risky. The laws are changing month on month. You don't know where things will be in a few months, let alone in 2 or 3 years' time. And what happens on your return if you just can't recover your home? You'll effectively be homeless. If your home is damaged, if you're away and there's a problem tenant in the property, agents will only go so far, but if there is a serious problem with the tenant, all they will do is contact you and say, what would you like us to do? And then you could be facing months of uncertainty while the matter goes through courts and the way things are. Who knows how long that will take or how much it will cost. So this is what I would advise you to consider. Think about a commercial let for that period. This is increasing and more people are finding this works for them because of the convenience. You basically lease your property to a company who then use your property for short lets. That means you never have tenants in the property. The property is occupied on average 70 to 75% of the time. But under a commercial let, there will be no tenant at the end of the period. A company will be managing your property. Your property will be inspected every time a guest leaves because the cleaners go in. Anything that needs doing can be done on the days when it's empty. And at the end of the period, on your return, your property will be returned to you, valeted, freshly painted, and the key is in your hands with no problems whatsoever. Plus, in the meantime, you can keep your name on the electoral register at the property. You can maintain Nexus in the UK. So should you require or wish to move on to a different property, buy something else, whatever it is that you want to do, you've officially lived here because you've only been traveling. Wherever you've been staying as a guest. That's not your official home. So it's definitely worth considering. There are many companies throughout the UK who offer this service, including ourselves, and our clients are increasingly finding that this works for them because it is a truly passive income. Once they hand over their keys for the agreed period, they have nothing to worry about, and their property, or rather any responsibility for their property, is on pause for the entire period, and they have absolutely nothing to worry about. And on the day they return, their property is handed back to them as new. The other group are the savers. As you're all aware, cost of living is increasing dramatically in the UK, and savers are finding it increasingly harder because they're almost swimming against the tide. So if you are a saver thinking about buying a home in 1 or 2 or 3 years, then if your career lends itself to being a digital nomad, it's definitely worth considering because you can take your UK salary but reduce your outgoings to expenses which are far lower in places such as Mexico or Budapest or Indonesia or China or wherever it is you wish to go, or possibly all of them in turn. In the meantime, though, once again, you must maintain Nexus in the UK. Otherwise, when you return and you then are ready and want to buy, your credit file will basically be blank. So I would strongly urge you to get some financial advice about what you need to do to maintain yourself so that your credit file is active, and also to take every step that you can to improve your credit file in the meantime. I'm more than happy to put you in touch with our financial advisors who would be happy to give you some initial advice for free, and they would even happily give you an annual health check just to check your credit file, check anything that you need to amend, improve, look out for, whatever the case may be. And in this instance, provided you take care of your credit file, you put yourself in a situation where your outgoings are less, you can spend the next 2 or 3 years traveling the world while you're earning, while you're saving, and you can then return when you are good and ready to buy a property. And because you will have focused on maintaining and improving your credit file in the meantime, all being well, you then will be eligible for the best mortgage deals that will be available at the time. One further thing, if you are a homeowner and you're leaving, please take note of my previous videos. Update the address on the deed of your property to somewhere secure, parents, friends, or even a solicitor. Ask a solicitor to file a restriction on your property, and go to the land registry and register for email updates. It's free. So if anybody does try anything with your deed while you are away, you will know long before they have any opportunity to do anything. That's all for now. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me at the usual email address, antony@trellos.com, and I'll see you in the next video.